Hey folks, Lionel here with Cowboy Boots, Hats, and Western Life Enthusiasts. Today, I got an unboxing and review for you from none other than Rujo Boots. And boy, am I excited about this one. Well, let's get into it. Alright, so we just got back last week from Texas, where we took a trip and basically went and met up with a bunch of awesome folks from the Western wear industry up in North Texas. And basically, one of the stops we did was at Rujo Boots, where I interviewed Rujo, and the interview is called Behind the Brave interview with Rujo. So if you guys want to check that out, is a video just previous to this one where I met up with James and we talked about the brand and how they got started and where they're going pretty much. So let's get into these boots, shall we? So these are the Jakes from Rujo Boots. These are a caiman hornback, which is basically they take the skin from the back of the center of the back of the caiman. So instead of your typical caiman belly, which is basically the caiman belly, which is a smooth tiles, well, these are going to be your hornback, which is the top. So it's going to be a little bit rougher around the edges. But let's go ahead and take a look at it. So first of all, we always look at the box. So same box from Rujo, really nice, very distinctive, just a gray with their logo, Rujo and Be Brave, which is an awesome slogan. Okay, so let's get into what's inside the box. So inside the box, you will have the paper, and then you're going to have this thank you for your business card and refund and exchange policy. Also, you're going to have a UPS return label just in case the boot doesn't fit or something just doesn't feel right or it's not what you expected. So that is there for your return and your convenience. All right, so let's get into it. So these are in a plastic bag. There they are. They do come with the shaft shapers. Now, I do recommend you folks to keep the shaft shaper and always put them back inside of your boot. I put them inside of all my boots. It is a very important thing. Also, there's a piece of paper, so before you go sticking your foot in there and you're wondering why you can't get your foot in there, it's because there's a piece of paper in there. So there it is. And I can smell that leather as soon as I open the box, which is awesome because it is my favorite smell in the whole world after I think Creed Aventus. But yeah, I think that's my favorite scent in the whole world, even more than Creed Aventus now. All right, so here they are, and man, these are such a gorgeous pair of boots. Nice wide square toe. But let's start from the bottom as we always do. So it is a leather sole. You got your Rujo Be Brave. So they're very consistent with the way they make their leather sole. It's basically going to be all the same. Goodyear double stitch welt, and it is a very small profile on these, so it is very nicely done. Also, you're going to have all lemon wood pegs all throughout, 2 rows on each side of multiple, and this is a leather heel, leather stacked heel. Now this is, and I said this before and I'll say it again, Rujo just finishes out their heel so amazingly. So this is more for roper heel. As you guys can see, it's a roper shaft, but so it is going to keep that roper style, and it looks really nice. And then you got your traditional rubber heel cap from Rujo. It says Rujo right here. Be brave. So it is finished out really nice. Now to get on the top, on the vamp. So the way they did this toe shape, it is a square toe, but it's finished out really well. Very nicely profiled, which is something that you're looking for when you're looking into a square toe boots, especially when you're looking into something that's going to be a little bit more dress situation boot. Now the hornbacks are really well done, right? Some hornbacks, they'll look like boils and they'll look horrible, like just way too much. See, they didn't want to do that, so they got the perfect skin in order for it to be profiled, so it looks a little bit more wild than your average caiman belly, but it's going to be a bit more profiled and look just a bit nicer, and I really could appreciate that. I mean, that is exactly what I want a hornback to look like. Just a little bit of that wild look, but not overly done where it looks ugly. It just looks really nice, uniform, and a little bit risen. So over here we have a one-piece vamp and a one-piece counter. As you guys can see, the counter is one piece, and I mean, it is just done up so well. Really, really great craftsmanship. There's not a issue here at all. The double stitch welt looks awesome. Now onto the shaft. The shaft is a roper shaft, but some roper shafts are just way too short. They're like, you know, it almost doesn't look like you're wearing a cowboy boot anymore. These are the perfect height for a roper shaft. You know, it's not as tall like a 13-inch cowboy shaft, but it's not so short like some of these crazy little roper ones. And I love what they did here. So they did some stitching, but then they highlighted it with the cording, as you guys see here, and it's really well done out. I mean, it just looks beautiful. And also they got a little bit of caiman, what looks to be belly right here, or really the outskirts of what the hornback would be. So it looks really nice. See, it's a little different from this side, a little bit bigger tiles on this side than you would have on this side. I mean, it just looks really awesome. And then inside, it feels like a calf skin here on the inside. Now this is I think cowhide, but on the inside it does feel like calf skin. It's just really nice and smooth. And as always, Rujo finishes out that seam flawlessly, because you cannot even barely see it. All you see is a line. You do not see any stitching. Nothing sticking out. Now they do have their airwalk technology, which is a little bit of foam with leather, and that always feels really nice and good. And I've tested out the 7 toes from them, and they felt really good. They had a nice little bit of room in the toe box, but I want to see how these feel. I bet these feel amazing. I was told to go with a size down maybe, because there's a little bit more space on the square toe, but I feel like this would be perfect. But let's see how they feel when we put them on, and I'll let you know all about it. Well, these boots just smell amazing. Wow, that pop. Well, first impression after putting on these boots is,
look at all this floor space. So much aerobics in here. So many activities.
they are so roomy. They feel amazing. They're tight. but not too tight, but they're just tight in the right spots in the right way where they'll break in perfect. And they look amazing. So this is a side profile, front, other side, back, and top. Man, I love how these boots feel. Well, let's get back on top. Alright, so here's my conclusion on these Rujo the Jake's hornback roper boots. I think I expressed a lot of how I felt on these boots in the intro of the video and when I was trying them on. And that is that I really do love these boots. And let me tell you guys why. I'm going to start with sizing. These boots, I was told to get a half a size to a full size smaller. From my 7 toes, just to accommodate for the fact that these are wide square toe and that they might feel a little bit bigger. And I'm glad I didn't do that. I got the 12D, the same as my 7 toes, and they feel exactly like my 7 toes in the sizing. The only difference is that I have a little bit more room in the toe box. But it's not like some of these other companies that you get a boot and you have to get a bigger size in the narrower toes and you have to get a smaller size in the wide square toe because they don't work. I know if I'm ordering Rujo boots, I could get a snip toe, 7 toe, round toe, or wide square toe, and they're all going to fit the same as far as sizing. Just the toe is going to feel a little bit different, but they're all going to feel really comfortable in my size. Now, I do understand that everybody's foot is different. Maybe that works for me. Maybe you ordered those boots in your own size and they do feel a little bit too big, and that's not a problem at all. You have the return label just for that, so you could go ahead, return them, and get your size that might fit you just a little bit better, but you can't go wrong with that. So another thing is, these are hornback. So hornback comes from the back of the caiman. They're going to be a little bit tougher as opposed to the caiman belly, which obviously comes from the belly. Belly hide is a little bit softer, so they're going to fit. They're going to feel a little bit softer, but with these they feel a little bit tougher. And that's not a problem with these boots because they fit so darn well right from the get-go that you don't feel like they're crushing your foot. There's a little bit of tightness right here, but it's not overly tight to the point where it hurts. It's just to take up off the slack, and you feel like they're just going to break in beautifully. You know, as you guys saw, I put them on. They went on like a breeze. Heard that nice pop that you want to hear when you're trying on a brand new pair of cowboy boots. Perfect amount of heel slip, everything. Just absolutely phenomenal. Now, also the fact that they are a hornback. You don't see very many hornbacks out there on the market, and some of the hornbacks you see, they look like they got bulls everywhere. You know. They look rough around the edge. They got like all these bulls everywhere, and it doesn't look as attractive as these. These are nicely done, very well refined. They pick some really good hide, I must say. So they got these, and I just noticed this actually looking at them up close, and it's hard to tell, but these towels right here are a little bit bigger than the one on these boots. On this boot right here, it's a little bit smaller towels and a little bit more plentiful. Not enough for you guys to actually be able to tell the difference unless you look at them up close, and that is a really cool thing because it just shows that it came off a real animal. Those are little things that I do like to see, that they're not perfectly even, that there's a slight difference, but not enough for you to notice where it's obnoxious, but just enough for you to be able to point it out to somebody and they say, oh, that's pretty cool. So I'm basically supposing that this came off closer to the center of the back of the caiman where the tiles are a little bit bigger, and this probably came out of the hide that is close to the ribs where the tiles start getting a little bit tighter, and that is a really cool look. Another thing is, I said in one of my Rujo videos that for getting gussied up, I like the 7 toes the best, and I still do feel like that is the case. When I wear a suit, I like to wear 7 toes. I think it just looks a little bit more refined than a square toe. And I said that if you do wear a 7 toe and you like to wear wide square toe, the 7 toe is a very good thing to wear because it's pretty close. It's kind of like a narrow square toe. But some people agreed with me and said, yes, I would wear a 7 toe, and I usually do like to wear wide square toe. Some people said, hey, I'm that die-hard square toe guy, man. I'll still wear them when I'm getting all gussied up. I'll still wear a square toe. And you know what? I do completely understand you guys, because I'm starting to be that wide square toe guy, and I do love wide square toe. So it's a really cool thing that I now have a pair of wide square toe exotic boots that look as good as these. So I feel like if you're going to get dressed up in a wide square toe, these are the ones to do it in. The double stitch welt, it's not too far out. The welt doesn't come out too far. It looks really nice and refined. The toe is really well done, just very refined, narrowed down in the front. Kind of has a little bit of an aerodynamic shape to it, don't it? And the hornbacks are just so well done and refined. It's such a beautiful looking boot. They just look amazing, and I simply do love these boots. They're phenomenal. But what's even more phenomenal is that such a rare hide as hornback is coming in at $435 from Rujo. Now that's a phenomenal deal, because you can't really find hornbacks much everywhere, and then Rujo is bringing out such a phenomenal all-around pair for only $435, and that is a phenomenal thing. You know, if you guys look at the review or the interview that I did with Rujo, they really do stand behind their product and make sure that the customers are really happy. So I don't think you guys could go wrong with these boots for $435. I think these are some nice square toes you could get at that price. So that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please hit like and subscribe to the channel. We have a lot more things coming up. We just booked our trip to Cowboy Christmas at the end of the year in Las Vegas. So we will be there to check out the NFR and to go see a George Trade show. So we will be there. So stay tuned on the channel. Hit the little bell icon so you guys can be notified of everything we have coming up, so you guys don't miss out on anything. We have a lot of great contents coming up. And if you guys did like these boots, we will be leaving a link to these boots in the section below. So make sure to click on that if you guys want a direct link to these boots. And if you guys like these boots and you guys have anything to say about them, and if you guys agree with me or disagree with me, leave a little comment in the section below. We always love to read it. I always check into it, and I always get back to you.